Whew. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today, and welcome back to the series Love Island Beef, episode 2, when it comes to Mike vs. Shaughna.
Island's blank, grounded snake.
They're headliners.
Some people just forget they're mic'd and on a TV show.
Ah, shut up, man. It's not a game anymore. That's taking the piss.
Now, this is probably one of the most interesting episodes, I believe, of this series that I'm doing, because this particular beef was actually a passive kind of beef between these two. They never really directly, clashed in the villa. They had their disagreements and their very minor arguments here and there, but it seemed that most of the stuff also took place post this particular season of Love Island, but it was just one of the most interesting seasons ever.
Right, but I'll let her off because she's my sister.
Because it never was really deconstructed, analyzed, and that is what I want to do when it comes to the series on this channel. So Mike and Shaughna, both originals, OGs for their season. They both started out from the men's and the women's catalogue. Shaughna went with Callum, and we also had Mike that went with Leanne. Now we know how things obviously followed through with those two, but Mike and Shaughna ended up developing this kind of brother and sister relationship, this kind of strong bond where they could rely on each other. If Shaughna wanted to know if Callum was swaying here or there, she would occasionally go to Mike, because Mike and Callum are obviously strong friends at the time. Child, they were.
Right, but I'll let her off because she's my sister.
But if things weren't going well and there was trouble in paradise for Shaughna, for example, Mike would insert himself into stuff and find out what's going on, whatever, and talk about it here or there. And Shaughna did not like that, and she felt that he was doing too much. It's not your business. Kind of stay out of it. And it was very interesting because when they also were playing a game and Shaughna was asked who was the biggest game player, she ended up kissing Michael to signify that Mike is the game player. And Mike was obviously thrown off by that, because if you're calling me your big brother, you wouldn't also see me as a game player. What is going on here? This seems weird. It doesn't make any sense. There seems to be tension underlying. Also with Mike and Sophie, when they had that kind of conversation, Sophie then spoke to Callum and Shaughna was like, Mike's moving on too quickly. It's weird, kind of joking on about it. Even though that was never really Mike's intention. It was more of a joke. But of course, she was kind of talking behind him, behind his back to Callum and Shaughna. And then also when it came to another game that they were playing, apparently Mike was seen as fake or whatever. And Shaughna was like, don't you guys remember? You guys are all mic'd up. What is going on? So they've kind of talked behind each other's back, both of them. More so Shaughna, I would say, even though that they both would have this kind of strong kind of friendship in front of everybody else, it seemed that behind the scenes, both of them had this kind of underlying passive tension that was never really addressed. They both never really directly sat down and spoke about it. And I feel like this is one of those beefs that I feel like we really wanted to have seen really just go in full force on the show, but it never did. That was one of the issues when it came to the season, that proper actual issues were never properly addressed. They were kind of pushed under the carpet or addressed for a little bit and then quickly moved on. Of course, this was also professed in the reunions, and obviously Mike talked about it in a particular interview that he did on his channel, where he expressed that, listen, I'm quite irritated by Shaughna because when I've been watching back the clips, her and other people who I thought I was close to have spoken about me behind my back, and from the footage that I've seen, I'm upset with it. So Mike confirms it himself.
In the villa, I never really saw any of that, but now having come out, I have watched it back, and obviously I have seen certain people who, talk about me behind my back. You mentioned Shaughna. Yeah, but obviously at the time I thought me and Shaughna had a very close relationship. Obviously now having watched back, I have seen there were instances where her herself, she was, talking about me behind my back.
Isn't, some random kind of, nonsense beef or making something up or something for content. He confirmed this himself in his interview, that with hearing what Shaughna said, XYZ, he didn't like any of that. And it rubbed him the wrong way. And of course, we know how things are. He's called out Connor and Callum. Maybe I'll do a video on that for their beef. Child, we don't even know. And of course, Shaughna was within that kind of weird circle for a minute before Callum decided to dump Shaughna and go for somebody else. Yes, you are entitled to express your opinion, and she was Shaughna, but then describing him as the big brother that she really needed, you then wouldn't be doing so if you're going to describe him as that. So it was just weird. These two never really saw eye together. They thought that they did, they said that they did, but they didn't. Because I wanted to just kind of just have a video to have a conversation to kind of dissect and analyze this kind of fake brother to sister relationship, the downfall of this relationship, and how it turned not from a romance to a beef, because most of these beefs do turn from a romance to a beef, but we have a kind of friendship turned beef, sibling relationship, not relationship, but sibling kind of friendship turned into a weird beef where both of them just didn't really trust each other. And, you know, Shaughna thought Mike was talking too much, he was moving around too much, and thought that, you know, he was this big game player. I don't think we saw Mike really giving the same energy about Shaughna to other people. I don't think he was running around saying that Shaughna is a game player. So, you know, I can't imagine and see why he is upset. I wouldn't say Mike is totally innocent. You have to be unbiased in this whole situation. But I do feel like, you know, Shaughna might have done just more than him. Let me know your thoughts are when it comes to this video. What are your thoughts on episode 2 of Love Island Beefs? Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series, and yes, there are so many more videos for us to do when it comes to this, but I wanted to just get into this one because this was just very weird. Something about this is just, it's not sweet, but it's salty. Do you understand? Something about this is just a little bit weird. This friendship never really took off. It really went the other way, but was never really addressed for us to see. I don't know what I'm doing, child. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. The first episode did great on the channel, and I'm really happy that it did, so thank you so much for watching it. And we have plenty more episodes coming on a day-to-day basis. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.